Well, they say it's the little things that get you. You see this cover here, which is kind of a metal basket looking thing. It's laying on its side. That goes on the side of the combine here, covering the lower fan pulley, the fan drive driven pulley. You see the two clips there. Well, inside that basket the other day when we were greasing the combine, I found a round spanner nut. And we were looking all over the side of the machine, shafts, pulleys, things, where it could have possibly come from. Turns out it comes from right up there. You see the daylight coming from the shield in the grain tank being off? That drive shaft that goes through the grain tank, it holds the yoke on and then preloads the bearings and sets the gear lash in that gearbox that drives the entire combine. And that nut had fell off somehow or another. It rolled out of that tube there. You see the welded in tube. It rolled out, rolled across the machine, and just happened to drop straight down into that basket. Had we not found that, if it had rolled and bounced and hit the tire and dropped in the field, we'd have never known it. And that would be bad because it could possibly take out that gearbox, and I'm sure that's a very expensive gearbox. The other thing we found while greasing is this spring pin here that holds the two halves of the fan drive variable pulley together as they telescope in and out to give you your variable fan speed. That had sheared off between the two, and it had allowed the two halves of the pulley to shift in relation to each other. So basically only half of the pulley was driving the belt, the other half was slipping some, which would eventually eat the belt. And that gets kind of expensive because that belt's not cheap either. So we were working our way around, greasing up here in the feeder house and stuff, and I noticed a couple broken links. Basically, this is the connector link, but basically this link and this link was broken, and only the outer plates were holding the feeder chain together. Went to repair that and found that the feeder chain had a lot more problems to it. A lot of the rollers are just about worn out, and a lot of them are frozen completely and won't turn. And so the brother-in-law decided to just go on and replace the feeder house chain. It's just a considerable amount of money. They delivered it on the truck day before yesterday. So that's what we're working on today. I'm going to put the cover back over the shoe augers in there that deliver the grain from the cylinder and concave. You can see a rasp bar inside there, and the concave itself delivers it onto the pre-cleaner comb here in the pre-cleaner. And back there is the main comb and the cleaning shoe chaffer. And of course up here is your straw walkers, and I don't know if you can see it, the of course the straw walkers are up here, and then the walker shoe, or walker pan, I'm sorry, is up there. It delivers the grain right down there to the front of the or back of the pre-cleaner, front of the chaffer. And then of course the sieves underneath the chaffer. But anyway, yep. And of course that's where all the straw drops into the chopper. Well, so word to wise, always double check for stuff like that and take a look around while you're greasing. That drive shaft comes out the back of the grain tank right there into the main power head on the back of the engine. So that drive shaft turns the entire combine when it's operating. And you want to make sure you get all those little things so that before they become big things later.